I am here. I am here. I am here. And of course you can see the hour is late. But we decided we were going to drive over here just the same. It is very late. When we say late, it's almost like going on the 9 o'clock hour. It just doesn't look that way, but it truly is. We've already, for the last few minutes, we drove around the neighborhood all the way over to the building. The blue X is still there. We would walk there, but the hour is late. We're not going to do that. We saw a lot of activity. The next street over, if we were to walk in this direction here and turn left, saw something that I hadn't seen in the time period of coming before. One of them spoke kind of loudly towards this servant. We were driving, Glory and I were just, Glory and me, we were just driving in that direction. And they were all outside. Hadn't seen that type of activity in this area. So it's like the next street over. We could go up there and walk past them and everything like that, but we're not going to do that. Not like MD don't feel the street in her, but just not on tonight. But we saw something that we're going to, maybe next time we come, we'll walk out in that area and see what we see if we see it more than once. And if so, that's even, it's not alarming, but it's even more of a need for something like ministry to be in this area here. We're at this building, 1500 the Pinnacle. This is right off of Edgewater and Davison. Edgewater and Davison. Let me see. Edgewater is like the next street up. This is Davison, but it's off of Lee Road. That's what it is. It's off of Lee Road. Edgewater is like one of the main or major streets or intersection, however you want to look at it. And it's like, even if I pointed in that direction, it's like right up the next light up, and that is Edgewater Drive. And then the next, when you turn off of Edgewater, that's Lee Road, and then it's Lee Road and Davison. And so that's where this building is. And like we said, we discovered this building. It's no telling how long it's been vacant, but we first discovered it. We first put that date out, and it was correct. It was October the 25th of 2018. Of course, we discovered it before then, but that's when we did a real live video from that. And then we came back the next day on the 26th, did a full video, and those that get within the arm reach the hug, no, MD can hit them buttons sometime, and then the next day, you know, something is totally deleted. So we haven't been able to find that video of October the 26th of 2018, but we do have the one, the short and brief one, on October the 25th of 2018. So that goes to show you just about, we're coming up like on 3 years in October, if it's still available. It's over 2 years now that it's been sitting vacant like that. And at one time we saw a light in there, and then a light outside, and then it just went back to the usual like it is right there. But we've already walked around the neighborhood, went as far as the building. The X are still there, the 5X blue X is still there. We saw something, and we're going to show it to you when we go over there, probably next Saturday, when we go. And this field looks mighty good. We caught it in like some light, and you can see they really cut it down. It looks really, really nice. They've cut it down, the grass down. But want to show you something on that particular, you know, like where that, what was it called? Calvary something. You know, we walked a couple streets over, and we saw that this was a day that they had someone there. So we saw at least 3 cars there. Just very unusual, though, for places that like are churches or ministries or whatever like that. For MD, now this is just MD speaking, but for to have things like we saw something like old Bibles or something sitting out there, or old books that were just sitting around like on the front entrance, and they look old and worn and everything, and you would think somebody would pick them up. But we know that, you know, like in certain areas there are, you know, where you have people, you know, invited, you know, uninvited guests that invite themselves there, and so they leave certain things. But it's still the responsibility of those that have you know, property or land or ministries or even businesses to clean up around the area. I've never seen, MD never haven't seen so many areas that you see business working out of that, and yet outside of the area is just very unclean, trash and all. Even if you have unwanted guests, it's still each and every owner, renter, you know, it's just our responsibility. Even if MD is to lease or to buy, it would be his servant responsibility to keep outside that area clean and presentable. And so we saw some things around that area. We'll go back and we'll look again on next Saturday, see if they're there. But then we saw this unusual looking tree. It was the most creepiest, for real, the most creepiest tree we've seen. Remember that time that MD talked about when we first came here with, you know, those little sons that you see, how we first came here, and, you know, when we didn't know anybody in the city, and so we were going to certain areas and hanging out. You remember we said that? And here's the deep thing, and hope you get it. That during that time, we went to this one particular area, and thought something had flew in his servant eye. And the trees were so old, trees that were over hundreds of years old was in this area. Still haven't found that place this day, but it was like a nice park. It's somewhere here in Florida, and it has these trees that have been here for a very long time. Well, we saw the most creepiest tree. Want to go and look at it when it's like really light. But we saw this most creepiest tree, and really want to make sure it's really all connected as one tree. And have never seen a tree like that before. Never, ever. And so it's right there on their property where that Calvary, what I just can't remember what it's called right now, but it's Calvary something. It's a church in that area over there, about a couple of streets over. And saw it right there, the most creepiest tree, and all, and never seen anything like it. Not even in that place where we saw all those trees that were like hundreds of years old. You know, trees that were over 100 years old. Didn't see one like that there. And so I want to go back and check that out when it's like light. But very kind of like busy day today. That's why we're like a little late getting down here. But we want you to know that we were here, that we did stop by. Today is July the 10th of 2021. It's that favor with you in mind kind of day and all. And so we're at this building 1500, the Pinnacle, and all. Glory and me come here, have made it down here almost every Saturday since we said we would. We're still in the message. How about this? We're still in that message 549. We haven't left that. We still have the Write Out Wonderful notebook. We have that with us. We haven't left that. We just, one thing we do want to put on this video here is how earlier this week we were talking about how when we first had that encounter with the X on the trees, and it was 5 of them, and we just saw the blue X on our way out. Our eyes was open to see it. Well, it's been a couple of times. This is like the 3rd time we've gone in that direction, and the trees are still there. Don't know when the consumers are going to have them cut down or whatever, but they're still there. But what really made it serve it, like, have one of those mouth kind of open, kind of Write Out Wonderful, encounters, was that of all places, for the blue X to be was on the tree. And of course we do understand what that means, the blue X, and also the red X. But seeing that we were having so many encounters and visits from a powerful soul of Earl DMX Simmons. No, we're not getting up off of that name. No. And so the powerful thing about it is that's when all the X come during that time, because that 549 is centered around, believe it or not, is centered around turn away when we have cars coming in, but it's centered around that happened at 5:49 a.m. that particular day. And so a message came out of that and all, and we have already talked about what happened and all, and how we were in that visit where after it was like right after that 5:49, how the alarm, remember how we said that the alarm went off, when all of the alarms were shut off, because we're not having any alarms to go off that day, because it's when all the alarms are shut off. And then here goes an alarm, and so we're really trying to get out of a real powerful visit so we could see the time, because we're like, what's going off? What alarm is going off? Because we know we shut them all off. The 6:16 a.m., that's the earliest, and so we knew we had no alarms on. And so we really had to push ourselves to get out of a very strong where we were at that time in the morning in our sleep, and so in that deep sleep, that kind of thing. And so so curious, like, what alarm is going off? And it's still dark outside, so what alarm is going off? And then to kind of get in a position to turn over and grab the foam and the light come on, it's 5:49. Now we had the sound turned very, very low. We could have slept through it, it wasn't annoying, but the thing is, it would have just kept going and going and going and going. So for us, that could be annoying, you understand. But the sound alone, we could have slept through that. And when we saw that the time was like 5:49, I was like, where in the world would we would, even accidentally, you understand, set the alarm for 5:49. There's nothing happening anywhere, even in the evening, that is a perfect timing for that time to go off. So, we just knew that we had to grab that and wait till we share with you that even during the time of this 549 message, right? That is about that visit. It's all about that visit, where, you know, we saw that, like we shared with you, how we saw him, and he was like at this airport, and it wasn't an airport that was like United States, and it's because the servant has traveled from United States to foreign countries and things like that, so you know the difference. And so it wasn't one of those big busy airports and things like that. So he was in a very different, like he was going through like customs. We were sharing it like that, and how you know, like he was just like standing there, either waiting on his luggage, or for it to go through, or you know, whatever like that. But what we could see is that it would appear that he was waiting on the luggage, because the next thing that popped up right after that, the shift in that, no, we would not be down here long. The shift in that particular visit was that once we saw him there at that airport, like waiting for luggage, or it involved luggage, then the next thing we saw in that shift was that he was standing, like you heard what we said, like in a crosswalk, and he didn't appear to be lost and didn't know where he was and all, but it was like he was getting his bearing. And all, and how people were walking past him, and how we said that the people didn't walk through him because he wasn't a ghost or anything like that. But we shared how he looked much different than what he, you know, like the last picture you may have seen of him, and all, that he was much younger. His face was longer and all, and he appeared to be much younger. And so for the people to not be, you know, to walk through him because he wasn't a ghost, or try to like get out of his way, or like they were gonna bump into him, or like somebody recognized him, that's not how that was. So you could see that he was in a place that no one knew who he was and all, and because he was just standing there, he was looking at like places like high rises, you know, like that's how we can describe it. They were bigger buildings, and he was like getting his bearing. And so that's where all that came out of that 549. And then by the time we did get down here to the building, as we were making ready, that's when the Spirit let me know that the message would be centered around, that would be that message 549. So that's where the 549 came from that particular day. And of course, we'll link it all here, because right now we're just like kind of like putting it here, little bits and pieces or whatever like that. But anyway, those that really are getting close and into these videos, and we're posting them on our YouTube channel, which is MotherDoris. That's where we're putting them under the Mercy. All of this is part of that Mercy She Hopes, and we're building a series from that, and we're going to be helping those with special gifts to not feel or to not appear you know, weird and creepy and spooky, because some of the things that we see and all, like some of the things that MDC, you know, it took this last incident, or encounter, should we say, with that big old, what you know, what's the moon, and then there's this big old what appeared to be like a star, then it went for a cross, and we're just, you know, trying to see what that thing is, to the point that the words would come out of his servant mouth. That's crazy, you understand? And so we were about to walk away, walked inside of that unit, and immediately we were reproved by the Spirit to go back again and to look at it for the second time. And then the Spirit let me see it and come out of his servant mouth. That's an X, and you could just look at it, and oh my goodness, from that it just have not stopped, and it's been so powerful, and all, even till we could get another one, and we've linked all this. This is already out, but you could see the second visit where we came, where even the big old glow of a cloud covered it, but you could see the X, and the words that came out of that will come and will come again, just so you won't doubt what you saw. And that thing is just so powerful. You understand? It's so very important that we hold on to this because it is attached to eternal life. It's even beyond Earl DMX Simmons. It's attached to eternal life. And that was almost like the final puzzle or the final mystery or piece of the mystery that from day one we're talking about where will you spend eternity, and on and on and on we could go. And so we're really taking this time, and we're about to leave now. If we haven't introduced ourselves, this is the voice of pastor of MotherDoris, founder. I am Sydney, builder of the storehouse. And since we're going and putting these types of videos on the MotherDoris page, we're going to adjust ourselves to using more MD. And also that's where we'll come in and, like, you know, this is MD, something not so really whatever and all, because when I'm in that space, I'm in that space. But right now we're doing the Mercy She Hopes series, and this is all about these powerful souls and precious souls and the righteous people with good hearts and you understand, just powerful people. And you know, it's like even when they leave, it's like they leave such a mystery about themselves that when people don't know, then they say this and they say that and all that. And there's just been precious souls that have been placed and put in as an assignment given to his servant to protect and to guard over them and to, you know, just speak well of them and to keep them forever upon our lips as that is pleasing in the sight of the Lord. And so that's what all this Mercy She Hopes is going to, we're hoping to bring about and all. I'm excited to do so, really. MD is excited to do this and to share, because we have quite a list. It's not a whole lot, but it is enough to get started. And so you can see that we, you know, even though it's the first time you're going to be hearing about it and all, but you're going to know by the dates that this is not something MD just, you know, conjure up and just, you know, begin to do because all this is just begin to happen. No, this has been here for a while. And so you're about to see that. And I'm excited to be able to bring that to you and all. And, you know, there were some things that were just so way out there that it was like, you know, when you really get in that place and even in that space of the spirit, you understand that mentality of that's crazy like thing, you know, will make you delete things, take things down, you know, because you're like, you know, somebody, you know, might not get this, you know, and on and on. So you're more concerned about how other people feel than you are about how the Spirit is leading you and guiding you. And so it took this encounter, which was a huge encounter. It took this here for when we said that's crazy, for the Spirit to say to me, no, that's eternal. So that was like the final thing that his servant needed to like really put the stamp of approval, like all confidence needed and necessary to, like, you know, this is just real stuff. And it just takes someone that's really confident to speak these things and all, because like we said, if you see somebody down here with no umbrella, this raining like cats and dogs, now we won't tell you that MD might not do it once. Because we remember days like Charlie. And in the wee of the morning, when it looked like Charlie was about to hit that neighborhood where we were at 7257 Taller Tree Lane, and the Lord woke his servant up and said to get into the servant's gown and get the veil and take that and go down. And we're talking skipping now. We're not talking running or anything like that. Skip down that road of Taller Tree. And we're talking, here's the hurricane coming right at us. And it's like raining and nobody could see in front of you. And then here come those little ones like, I'm going with you. They thought that was fun. And I'm going with you. And I won't let you go out there by yourself. and all them coming with me, and you know, we had to turn. I feel the anointing of God. I know you don't believe it, but it's still all right. And the Spirit of God gave us to do that in the wheel of the morning, to put a shield of protection where we were staying, that hurricane would pass by us and not destroy anything that we had and those that were in that neighborhood and things like that and all. And you know, we know some folks can lie to FEMA and things like that, but you know, that hurricane didn't touch and tear and destroy nothing that was on that road around us, over us, not even the house where we were staying at 7257, none of that and all. And so we won't say that it may not be that one time, you understand, but if you see somebody out there all the time and no umbrella, no nothing, and they out there and they screaming God save for them to do that, we won't say that it's not God. But you know, we do know that there are certain things that is in the order of God, and we know that God will get you to do things that other folks won't do either. But like we said, some of them may be a little, you know, a little way out there past MD. You understand? And MD will confess to doing certain things, but there are certain things that we know that for us, that's like the highest the Lord will take us to do. And so we had to definitely throw that out about that hurricane and all. And that was like the one time we've ever seen something like that happen, for the Spirit of God to wake us up, because that Hurricane Charlie was a real threat, even in the area where we were. And to have to go out there when it was really stirring itself up, and for the Lord to place us right out there to turn that thing and to get that thing even out of the area where we were living, that was to the extreme that we've ever seen the Lord use in that type of weather and all. But for us to like, if every time you saw me and I'm down here and it's raining cats and dogs, and I'm down here, no umbrella, MD, somebody need to check on MD. That's all I'm trying to say. But basically, we're only in situations like that when we're led to do so, and it's not an all the time kind of thing. And so when we did that last video and it was raining, and that would be like the only time you'll see us doing it. And we did that because the Spirit brushed it upon our spirit when we said it before, and all, to let you know that, hey, she might just do that, but we will not be doing that over and over and over and over. It's leading of the Spirit, you know, just to break up perhaps a fallow ground or something like that. And so hopefully you can understand that. But we're really going to go all in. Like we said, we're getting out of our comfort zone, and we're actually in areas of being uncomfortable, even like sharing that right there. We're coming out of areas of being comfortable to being uncomfortable, to be able to share certain things, just to help those that have real special gifts. And you are weird, and you are creepy, and you are spooky to some folks and all. And we want to help you to, like we said, it's okay to you know, to turn it off and or turn it down, you understand, and still be effective. And we saw that today, and we was that was coming out of His servant spirit, what we said to those when we were on that platform of light. And we end up saying that it was okay, that, you know, if you want to take a vacation, leaders and things like that, and it's okay, you know, for you to take that vacation, and it'll keep you from being burnt out and overwhelmed and all that later on, and everything is going to function and still go on, you know, like it's supposed to, because of the Spirit, because we've trusted everything to the Spirit and all, and to not feel like we can't take any time off, or you know. And if we do, that everything just gonna, like the world itself just gonna stop itself, and things just gonna just be all chaotic and all messed up because we decided we're going to take a week or 2 or 3 or a whole month off, you see. And the Lord gave me to see that in the Spirit today. He said that's where you can assure them, that's how you know you're really in one with the Spirit, and you're really connected to the Spirit, is that when you can take time off, and the Spirit, you trust the Spirit to take care of everything, including you. And we thought about that earlier today, and was like, that is so powerful. And that's how you know you're getting very, very close to the Spirit, where you can lean upon the Spirit, trust upon the Spirit, and all, and the Spirit have everything in control. You, your family, your loved one, your ministry, you understand, your finances. I mean, everything is it. All things have that under and in control, and so it's okay. And so hopefully those that are and have these special gifts. Of course, we're going to be talking more about it, because we're almost in that place of being in that room. We have already decided that we're going to give at least one Thursday a month. But if we can do every Thursday, we're going to do every Thursday, because there's a lot. You can tell MD have a lot to share. And so we may just do that Mercy She Hopes every Thursday, or at least every Thursday that we can. And so that's something to look forward to. And of course, none of this will happen until after we're still on our vacation time and our birthday time and all of that. The next time we'll be on the platform for Light, we already let them know on the 9th that we'll return on the 22nd. And that's because of time of vision. And so we'll be in time of vision for at least 10 days. And so that being said, the hour is kind of late. We did get down here coming up on like the 9 o'clock hour, still quiet. Like we said, we saw some activity on that other street over, and we had some individual, it was a black man, who said something very loud to try to get my attention as I'm driving by with Glory. I didn't stop or anything like that. You know how you are going to get the dog to bark. You know, sometime if you're out walking and they're in a vehicle, sometime the dog will bark and use the horn to do so. And so it's one of those type of things. So we want to make sure that we'll check the area out a little bit more thorough, maybe the next time we come, to see if we see it like in a regular as a regular thing. But that's the first time I've seen it, and I've been down here a couple of times, and it's like the first time I've seen that type of activity. And it is still, of course, a few days after the 4th of July, so we'll credit that towards that at that moment. But we're getting ready to go back in. We are not going to make any more stops tonight. We had our mouth set for some it was goat, listen to this, some goat soup. And somehow we had the time mixed up, when the place is open, when the place is closed, and by the time we got there, the place was closed. But I wanted to try it. And had my mouth set on a couple other things I wanted to get for the night, but the area had already closed up and all. And so we're going to find something tonight that's very tasty, just to relax or whatever. But we won't be going in that other direction that we normally go in, and we'll just probably head back on, back to the other side. But do know that see, it's pretty dark down here. See, that building is dark. They should have a light on that building and all, but they don't. And so we can see now, and it's after the 9 o'clock hour, you can see that there is no light on that building over there, and they do need one. And this whole area is dark. Look at that, it's dark. And they do have outside lighting and all, and so we're hoping that they will do right by this area. But anyway, like we said, all it needs is a little TLC, which is some tender loving care. Again, this is the voice of High Servant MotherDoris, founder of I Am Sent Me, builder of the storehouse. This is today is July, bright lights coming over there, July the 10th of 2021. A lot of tree areas. I really make sure I keep my eyes on trees now. But nevertheless, hear us. It is Saturday. We're at the 1500 building here. The Pinnacle is what it is, and all. And we are hoping to see you again and being here on next Saturday. We're going to put it on that calendar to at least get down here like in the early afternoon. So we're going to push it out for the early afternoon, because we would like to. Okay, there go Glory. Glory got that double lock, so Glory just locked up on its own. But Yeah, Glory got that double lock. But anyway, we're going to come back on next Saturday because there are a couple things that have interest the eye of his servant that we want to check it out. But we're going to need a little bit more light to do so. All right? Well, until then, you have a nice evening.